was what a fantastic experience it was. I feel very lucky to be able to have done this and have you guys support me through it. It was really big. In Canada, celebrating the release of this thing. I'm drinking lattes and loving life. And I'm taking questions. So let me know. Is there a setlist posted tour? I don't think I'm gonna be doing setlists like posted, but if you guys want to make one and share it amongst yourselves, we'll definitely be playing music. Haters get the block, man. Yeah. This is the new anthem, I swear. What was your inspiration writing Barrel of a Gun with Leo Napier? That's a good question. So he sent me verse 1 and the demo for that, and I was in a Rite Aid in Chicago. I think this was like around like a Lollapalooza play or something. I can't remember, but yeah, I was in. Where did the comments go? There we go. Yeah, I was in Chicago, and I heard it, and I was like, "Whoa, this is insane!" And I didn't know at the time that it was going to be like a song that we were going to end up working on. But I was like, I really want to touch the song and like see what happens. So I ended up working on it. Getting to the point where I was like, all right, this is actually like a thing, and there's like this drop moment I didn't know what was going to happen. It's one of those tunes that was a big labor of love, like going back and forth, writing a lot of poetry about it, writing a lot of lyrics, getting new like vocal melodies for it and different takes, and it was just like, man, it was such a process, but that was like a grind. And the guitar that I played on it was really difficult for me to play, and ended up kind of like I needed to like play through each little part like lick by lick, just because it was like, I'm not a very great guitar player, but I can definitely get ideas out. So it kind of sounds like a sample, and it has a cool vibe to it. So I was really stoked on that. And then I ended up finishing like the drop section of that in Aspen, recording backup vocals for it in New Orleans. Like, dude, that song's recorded all over America. It was cool. Why Yoshi Flower? Why not Yoshi Flower? That's my dog. Like, he has such a cool vibe about him, and he has such a great energy. And his writing is amazing, and it was an honor to be able to write that song for him and have his voice on it. Like, I've been wanting to work on a song with him forever. I'm glad it was that one. Favorite city to play in? Definitely like Denver, definitely Detroit, definitely Chicago, definitely New York. I love New Orleans, man. I don't know. So many great places. I love Paris, France. It's just amazing. Plans for Bonnaroo Super Jam is going to be like homage to artists that have passed away, because I feel like that's something that would be really cool to be able to do with the talent that is at Bonnaroo, and hopefully we get a bunch of cool people sitting in with us. How you doing? Eating well? Loving life? JT visual? Yes. I'm eating like a champ. I'm living life like a champion, man, every day. Why did you change the vocals on Find My Own Way from Mike Posner to Wiz Khalifa? Well, Mike was never originally supposed to be on the track. He was just home for like that Christmas period. He was like, hey, we should do a song live. And I was like, you know what? I don't have a verse for the song, so if you want to sing on this one live, like, I've got a spot for it. And yeah, so Mike sat in for the GRiZ set, so it was never like a recorded part of the track. It was just like a feature for that show. Caught it. That was a one-on-one experience, and it was like so honored to be able to have him a part of it. And he wrote a verse specifically just for that song. Maybe that'll pop up later in his work. It would be really cool. Who's opening for me in Albany, New York? That would be Young Bay and Dooley. You should check them out. They're amazing. Favorite instrument that you learned how to play on your own? Favorite instrument someone else showed you how to play? It's cool question. Favorite instrument I learned on my own is probably, and favorite instrument that somebody showed me how to play. Ooh, let's go with modular synthesis. That Derek taught me how to do, and the synth like stuff for is built to me, like in a room being like whoa, 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 retro way to do it, but it was really cool. Felt good to get hands-on with it. Will you be releasing some more bass heavy tracks we saw at Buku and Ultra anytime soon? Maybe this album first. it's kind of the thing that we've been working on, like writing songs and like having a full idea. But like I love bass music so much, so definitely you're gonna see some of that. Hopefully this year, more releases. We'll see. What do your mornings/nights look like while on tour? Taylor, mornings look like typically they happen pretty late because our shows kind of end later. So I try and get a good sleep, eat some food, eat some hot cherries. My friend Jared Berman, who's on our tour, makes these like ridiculous meat cheese sandwiches in like a George Foreman while we're driving to the next city. It's a thing. Probably not the healthiest, but definitely the most delicious. And the mornings are typically like I try and wake up and like find some cool place to get coffee, and I try and get some exercise. Are scared to go to school because they're afraid they might get shot, like literally afraid. Yo, Jody, it's really sad, and I think it's really important to be able to spread messages of safe spaces, and to really rally around the awareness that if there's a problem, we need to, as a society, gather together and talk to the people that can make change, like legislators or people who are like rallying around a cause and contributing our voices. Because if something is causing us harm, we should rally together to be able to try and speak our voices loudly enough so that people can hear us and make real change. Like that's big, and that's something that I've been trying to do. It's a difficult process, but you got to stick with it. What's your favorite studio ritual? If you have one, I'd be willing to share a bit of it. I love turning my phone off in the studio. That's really important. Airplane mode. Like, you're there to be creative and do your thing. Like, give yourself enough time and give yourself the space to do it. If I'm feeling stuck lately, I've been like reading magazines, like it's like so cool. Lots of inspiration from John was Jared is Shaw. That's a good question. This is show, so I'm not gonna be playing like the throwback like thing. I just want to showcase all the new music because I have so much of it. But you're right. I mean, within an hour to 2 hours of playing music, the album runs for like unreleased music that I play too, to keep things really interesting and keep people on their toes and like create new favorites of things that people that aren't even released yet. So yeah, it is difficult, but I start by thinking which tracks I think I want to work through it, and how to perform those in the live environment. And then I think like, how are they all going to go together? And that's kind of like, it's like a puzzle, you got to fit all the pieces together. And at that point, kind of working on a set list with my LD, and I think this show is going to be really, really fantastic. What's your take on the Getter situation? I don't want to talk about that on the stream right now. Will you ever release Glitch Hop is Dead? Will I ever release Glitch Hop is Dead? Yes. I definitely can't keep that to myself. Worcester next month. Do you ever party with fans at the hotel post-show? No. No, I don't do that. But for an entire tour, we were not that doesn't sound blast, but we gotta like play the show and get on the road to the next show. I taught myself how to do it, and I bought CDJs and like the CDJs, and I'd just DJ at that person's house for a few hours after the show. It took a lot of work, but it was really, really fun. How did you make your connection to get together? Wait, I'm a big Bootsy fan. How did you connect and get together to make the track? That collaboration happened digitally, but I had the track basically finished. There was like a piece of it that I was like, man, I really want to elevate this track and add something to it. And Bootsy Collins was like a legendary figure. And it was like, yeah. He came out to GRiZ once we did the show, and we actually filmed this like that I did with him. And he had this conversation, and after like the cameras like turned off, he like leaned and like one-on-one, and just prolific person, a very like wise, knowledgeable, and like with it dude. And some bits of advice that will stick with me forever. That's for sure. It was like talking to God. It's crazy. Bonnaroo secret set. Maybe. That'd be really cool. Since you're not in the lineup, grooving along with us at first. Nah, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna name. You need an IT guy? Help you out with your Wi-Fi situation? Yeah, for real. I'm in Canada. I have bad Wi-Fi right now. Superfly soon. Superfly soon. Yeah, that is happening soon. I think it's getting released on 4/20. I don't know if I just dropped that knowledge accidentally, but yeah, that's coming really, really soon. Are you gonna release Fire in My Pocket? That was a tune that didn't make it because I didn't know what to do with it. It was a really cool intro, and there's like definitely a cool part to it, but man, yeah, I couldn't finish it. There's a lot of tunes like that on this record that like I was playing, and then I was just like I couldn't find a space for it to be finished because I don't know. Sometimes you just it doesn't like you could bang your head against the wall hard enough. Maybe I can go back to that in a few months or something, a few weeks, and see if I can get that done. I would love to though. I really love the way that was starting. Do you like Fish? Yeah, sure. Fish is cool. How do we hook up with the University of Miami marching band? Oh yeah, that was well, we originally did that at Holy Shit, and then it was like, all right, we're gonna be back in Miami. If they're down, we'll see if we could do that again, but like bigger. And that was like such a cool experience to go practice with them at the University of Miami. Like, go Canes, man, for real. Those guys are amazing, and it inspired me a lot. You're welcome. Do I consider myself a Christian artist? That's interesting. No, not at all. I have input the word God into a few tracks on this record and used and been influenced by like black gospel church sound. Because that is, I don't know, that's something that just shakes me to my core. Fundamentally, no. In practice, no. But I do believe in God in one way or another. But I don't think God is like a white dude with the beard sitting on top of the sky kind of a thing. That's just not it. It's something else, you know? Spiritually, I think that God thing is like a feeling that connects us all, this energy force. I'm not quite sure what that is yet. And maybe I'll spend my entire life trying to figure it out. But I am definitely aware of a feeling that is beyond rhyme and reason or some intellectual entity, is beyond all of us and our comprehension of it, and that is like the spiritual force of God, and that's where I find my own way, and like the prayer comes from. Yes, I'll release the wobbly stuff, the wobbly shit. Yeah, of course. Anti-saxophone club drop, maybe sometime. You're welcome for the track, maybe, Alex. Absolutely. What was the most challenging song to finish on Rideways? That's a good question. I think there's a song called Surf that didn't quite make it. That was like, I just tried so hard to make it work, but it didn't. Hopefully that song gets released because it is like such a groovy tune. Most difficult song. I'm trying to think like the song that went through. I think it was Maybe that was the most difficult song to get finished, just because I took so many different kind of approaches at it, and I wasn't quite sure like if it was like the right iteration of it that I was finally releasing. I didn't really love like the crazy dubstep drop thing. I didn't want that to live on the record forever. And I was like, how does this go? Like, where does this go? Where does this want to go? What is this trying to tell me emotionally? And I mean, I think the version 20, that the song kind of started speaking to me again. I had to like stop and like let it say what it wanted to, and it ended up there. And it feels really right. Like it feels like it is healing in a way, you know. Yeah, Trevor, that's the reason. I mean, I'll hopefully release the other version, but we'll see. The Red Rocks promo from 2017. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's where Mercy started with was that drop that was like "Ra-ta," that thing. Um yeah, I mean that was an idea that I had a long time ago, and Mercy was written to that, but it didn't like fit the song the way that I wanted it to. So I ended up redoing the entire thing in the same key with the same chord progression. So maybe I'll release that song at some point as instrumental. I just don't think writing to that worked. And I tried a bunch of different ways, and it was just like things got to like. I think it's important for an album for things to feel really natural and to progress naturally. And everything that you are hearing on Ride Waves is like the most organic and natural progression of the tune, and just feels like really solid. Okay, so I'm gonna hop over to Twitter and answer some questions for you guys there, and I'll be hitting the replies. So yeah, follow up my Twitter right now. I love you guys. Thank you so much for asking all your questions. It means absolutely so much, so much.